You've been lied to, not by some shadowy government agency, not by a conspiracy, by school, by textbooks, by your parents, and honestly, by your own brain.
What?
See, the human mind is incredibly good at holding on to ideas, especially ones that feel right. The problem is, feeling right and being right are two completely different things. Today, we're going to tear apart 10 beliefs that millions of people carry with total confidence. Beliefs about science, history, the human body, and everyday life. And we're going to show you, with actual research and sources, why they're wrong. And trust me, some of these are going to hit different. Let's get into it. Welcome. If this is your first time here, we're all about one thing: the truth. Even when it's inconvenient, even when it contradicts what you've believed your whole life. Everything in this video is sourced from peer-reviewed research, established scientific institutions, or credible historical records. We'll cite them as we go so you can verify it yourself. All right, misconception number 1. You've definitely heard this one. Maybe from a motivational poster, maybe from the movie Lucy, maybe from a well-meaning teacher. Humans only use 10% of their brain. Here's the truth. That is completely false. Brain imaging technology, specifically functional MRI, has shown that virtually all regions of the brain are active at various points throughout the day. Even while you sleep, large portions of your brain remain active. Neurologist Barry Gordon at Johns Hopkins Medicine has stated that the 10% myth is so wrong it's almost laughable, noting that we use virtually every part of the brain, and most of it is active almost all of the time. So where did this myth come from? Most likely, a misquote of psychologist William James, who in 1907 suggested that humans don't achieve their full mental potential, not that they only use 10% of their brain's physical mass. The lesson: just because a fact sounds inspiring doesn't mean it's true. Number 2. This one has been repeated so many times that it became an idiom. People use it to mean a rare thing won't happen again. But physically, it is completely backward. Lightning absolutely strikes the same place twice, and often many more times than that. The Empire State Building in New York City is struck by lightning approximately 20 to 25 times per year, according to the National Weather Service. Some of those strikes happen within seconds of each other. Why? Because lightning follows the path of least resistance, and if a tall structure created a great path once, it will do it again. So the next time someone tells you lightning never strikes twice, you can smile and move on, because you know better. Number 3. Let's talk about one of history's most famous short guys, except he wasn't. Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte stood approximately 5 feet 6 or 7 inches tall, which in early 19th century France made him above average height for men of his era. So where did short Napoleon come from? 2 places. First, British propaganda. During the Napoleonic Wars, British cartoonists, most famously James Gilray, depicted Napoleon as tiny and temperamental to mock and diminish him politically. Second, a unit of measurement confusion. The French pouce was slightly longer than the British inch. When Napoleon's height of 5'2" in French units was reported in Britain, they didn't convert, making him sound much shorter than he actually was. Napoleon was many things. Short was not one of them. Number 4. Sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. That's the list you learned in school, right? 5 senses. Clean, simple. Also, wildly incomplete. Neuroscientists and physiologists have identified far more than 5 human senses. Here are just a few. Proprioception, your sense of where your body parts are in space, even with your eyes closed. That's why you can touch your nose with your finger without looking. Vestibular sense, your sense of balance, managed by the inner ear. Thermoception, your ability to sense temperature. Nociception, your sense of pain. Interoception, your ability to sense internal states like hunger, thirst, or your heartbeat. Depending on how you count, humans have anywhere from 9 to 21 distinct senses, according to researchers in sensory neuroscience. We are far more complex and far more miraculous than 5th grade biology suggested. Number 5. Every parent at every birthday party has said it. Every teacher dreads it. Every grandma defends it. Don't give the kids sugar. They'll go crazy. Here is what the science actually says. Sugar does not cause hyperactivity in children. This has been tested rigorously. In a landmark double-blind study published in the New England Journal of Medicine in 1994, researchers, including Dr. Mark Woolreck, gave children either sugar or a placebo, and neither the parents, the teachers, nor the children knew which was which. The result? Zero behavioral difference. No hyperactivity. No difference in attention. Nothing. A meta-analysis of 23 separate studies published in JAMA, the Journal of the American Medical Association, confirmed the same conclusion. Sugar has no effect on children's behavior or cognitive performance. What does happen? Kids get excited at birthday parties and holidays, situations where sugar is typically served. The excitement comes from the context, not the candy. Your kid isn't bouncing off the walls because of the cake. They're bouncing because they're 8 years old and it's a party. Number 6. This one has been in textbooks. It's been repeated on national television. Kids around the world learn it as a fact. The Great Wall of China is the only man-made structure visible from space. False. On multiple levels. First, astronauts have addressed this directly. Chinese astronaut Yang Liwei, China's first person in space, reported in 2003 that he could not see the Great Wall from orbit, despite actively looking for it. NASA has confirmed the same. The Great Wall is, on average, only about 15 to 30 feet wide, roughly the width of a highway. From the altitude of the International Space Station, at roughly 250 miles up, that is far too narrow to be visible to the naked human eye. To put it in perspective, your own hair is not visible from 30 feet away. The Great Wall from space is a similar proportion problem. The wall is undeniably one of the most extraordinary human achievements in history. It just doesn't need a fake superpower to make it impressive. Number 7. Poor goldfish. They've been the butt of this joke for decades. Oh, he's got a goldfish memory. Turns out, goldfish are significantly smarter than we give them credit for. Research published by scientists at Technion, Israel Institute of Technology, trained goldfish to press a lever to receive food at specific times of day. The fish not only learned the task, they remembered it and performed it accurately days later, with memory retention demonstrated over periods of months. A separate study from the School of Psychology at the University of Plymouth, conducted by researcher Phil G., found that goldfish could learn and remember specific behaviors tied to time cues over multi-month periods. Goldfish can actually have memory spans of up to several months, recognize their owners, and can even be trained using classical conditioning, the same method used to train dogs. So next time your goldfish swims past its treasure chest for the 100th time, don't feel bad for it. It knows exactly what it's doing. Number 8. This one isn't just wrong. it could cost someone their life. The belief that police won't, or legally can't, accept a missing person report until 24 or 48 hours have passed is one of the most dangerous myths in this video. There is no such law anywhere in the United States. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is explicit. You can and should report a missing person immediately, especially if the person is a child, elderly, or has a medical condition. The FBI and the U.S. Department of Justice both state that law enforcement agencies are legally obligated to take missing persons reports without any waiting period. The Federal Missing Children's Assistance Act and similar statutes at the state level reinforce this. The first hours after a person goes missing are often the most critical. If someone you know is missing, call immediately. This myth likely came from TV dramas and procedural shows. Real life is not a TV show. Report immediately. Number 9. This is one of the most persistent misunderstandings about the theory of evolution, and ironically, it's used both by people who believe in evolution and people who don't. If humans evolved from chimps, why are there still chimps? The answer is simple. We didn't evolve from chimpanzees. The correct understanding is that humans and chimpanzees share a common ancestor, a now extinct primate that lived approximately 6 to 8 million years ago. Over time, that ancestral population split into separate lineages, one eventually leading to modern chimpanzees, the other leading to the genus Homo, and eventually to Homo sapiens. Think of it like two cousins sharing a grandparent. You didn't descend from your cousin. You both descended from the same grandparent. The Human Genome Project has confirmed that humans and chimpanzees share approximately 98.7% of their DNA, a fact consistent with shared ancestry, not direct descent. Evolution is a fascinating, nuanced process. It deserves to be understood accurately, not as a childhood game of telephone. Number 10. All right, we're ending on one everyone's heard, and one that will either bring you enormous relief or mild disappointment if you enjoyed the horror. You do not swallow 8 spiders a year in your sleep. This is almost certainly 0. Here's why. Spiders are highly sensitive to vibrations. A sleeping human is a landscape of terrifying vibrations, heartbeat, breathing, the minor sounds of a body at rest. For a spider, an open human mouth during sleep would register as a dangerous, trembling void. Spiders avoid it. Beyond that, spiders have no interest in entering a warm, moist mammalian mouth. Their prey instincts are triggered by movement of insects, not by stationary, sleeping humans. Entomologist and spider expert Rod Crawford at the Burke Museum of Natural History and Culture at the University of Washington has called this claim so unlikely as to be essentially impossible. The myth was actually deliberately fabricated in 1993 by columnist Lisa Holst, who wrote it as a demonstration of how easily false facts spread on the early internet. And then it spread on the internet. The internet has a lot to answer for, but at least you can sleep tonight. So what's the lesson here? It's not that you're gullible. It's not that information can't be trusted. The lesson is that misinformation doesn't travel because people are dumb. It travels because it's packaged in a way that feels true. It rhymes. It fits a narrative. It confirms what we already half believed. The antidote is simple, if not always easy. Ask for the source. Look for the research. Be willing to update your beliefs when the evidence points somewhere new. Because the most intellectually brave thing a person can do is say, I was wrong about that, and then learn something better. If you found value in this, share it. Not to embarrass someone who believed these things, but because accurate information, freely shared, makes everyone's world a little sharper. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay honest.